And I don't want to discount anybody that's in younger generations. However,
I will.
Because
Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
Give me some lyrics.
oh, I'm getting nervous now.
Why?
I got to practice more. I'll put this down, Mr. Jason.
Oh, it's recording?
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
We'll get to it in 2022. I'll throw together something. I think
All right.
House of the Rising Sun will be in good shape by then.
Right.
Yeah.
Or your jokester version, House of the Rising Moon.
If you want.
Okay, so 2022 6-step success secret sauce. Number 4.
The secret sauce.
What is the secret sauce number 4 for 2022?
It starts with a T and ends with a raining because we're going to make it rain with that training.
It's rain and training. Hallelujah. It's rain and training.
I'm going off rails on a crazy training.
Oh, that's a better one.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Mine was a bit...
Ozzy really beat himself up, didn't he?
Sure.
I mean, that show, you see him like kind of
and that was a while ago.
Shuffling around. Yeah, he may not even be around anymore.
I love that you bring up early 2000 references as if it was yesterday. And that's what happens when you're old. So, 2022's 6-step success secret sauce number 4. Training.
Yes. Training.
So we talk about this stuff all the time. So this stuff is going to be no
hassle,
nothing
no fuss.
New.
Yeah, nothing new. But isn't that what it is at the end of the day is repetition, right? The basketball players don't go, all right, let's figure out a new way to shoot the free throw, right? It's over and over and over and over and over and over. The best of the best just practice the same fundies.
1000%. And here's a little story for you. Somebody that worked at our agency was looking to come back, and they my father-in-law was looking for somebody at their agency, so it was perfect timing. And they had mentioned to him during the interview process about how much she, now looking back, sees that the training and everything was not only necessary, but how valuable it was.
Oh, wow.
And everything else. And I guess during the talk, because he's familiar with our meetings and stuff, she had brought up a bunch of stuff that we say in our meetings, like verbatim, because we beat it to death back then, and she's regurgitating it now. So it's crazy how, I mean, that's stuck for over a year. It's left over a year ago. So
super important. Important.
So that's super cool to hear. And she was just talking about how much she appreciated it, especially now, like reflecting back.
Wow.
And how valuable it was. So it is monotonous. It can be putting people on the spot and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we're doing all this stuff. Like, let's get better. Let's just get to be better people.
Yep.
Like, I think sales is one of the most important things to learn in any organization.
And that's the first one is sales, right? So you have to do sales training every day. We talked about it, a little spoiler alert, during the secret sauce number 5. We're counting backwards. So in this,
how would that be a spoiler alert?
Because we kind of brought it up, but it doesn't matter because we want to do it over and over again. But the sales training is something that has to happen every day. Remember the quote that I said? If you stop practicing, if I stop practicing one day, I notice. If I stop practicing 2 days, my wife notices. If I stop practicing 3 days, the audience notices. I mean, I just love that. It's so true.
Right.
Because you have to be able to go on autopilot, especially on that sales call, and especially in this world where I bet we could drop in, like airdrop with a parachute into anybody's agency that's listening to this. Not everybody, but many agencies across this great land. And we would run into, if we listen to those sales calls, a different conversation on every single call.
Right. Yep.
And that's very difficult to train, right? It's very difficult to improve upon because they're all over the place. How can you fix it when everything's busted?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah,
what about, I mean, here's the thing. So let's move on. So that's sales. We beat that one to death. What about service? And here's one thing about service is that it's the resale.
Yeah. It's the real resale or the cross sale. Resale or the upsale.
Every day,
or the down sale.
Oh, or any sale. Or the cells in a Excel spreadsheet.
They're saving people, right? I mean, even the cancellation process, which I think is one of the most important things, is those payments that don't go through. They need to be called that list. There has to be a process for it. And it can't just be winging it. You owe money, right? Like, I mean, they have to know what they're going to say because they have to be ready for all the different objections.
Yep. And any interaction with your agency is reselling it. You're either selling the reason why they're going to stay, or you're repelling them, giving them a reason why they need to switch.
And that, I mean, all of the same things that we practice in the sales will transfer over to the service stuff, the tie downs, the tonality, all of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. What are some other just things that we could train on?
Oh, systems. I know it's not the sexiest thing, but they can't focus on what they've learned from trading if they're not trained on the system, right? If they're moving around that thing and they don't know where things are. I mean, that's really important. They have to be able to navigate all of the different computer systems and know where the resources are, right?
Yep. And if there's a system or a process for different scenarios, that they get trained on those systems and processes as well.
Yeah. We're actually building out a little library here that on this next round, we have a couple people that are starting. We're going to trade them, but record the trading so that we can drop it right into this little library, and they're going to have a place to go.
Love it.
Yep.
Love it. Yep.
Because why do it over and over and over and over and over again?
It's silly. It's
that was
silliness.
The monster talking.
So here's another one, phone handling, which I'm pretty sure goes on sales and service.
No.
But really training, gosh, like you were saying, like with the tonality and everything. I mean, this is just, hey, how's it going? Like, just we need to be aware that when we're on the phone, that we're on stage.
Yes.
Regardless.
And I don't want to discount anybody that's in younger generations. However,
I will.
Because because I can reference my own kids, right? I have a 16-year-old and a 21-year-old. And these animals get on the phone, like if they will ever answer their phone, which is very rare. And I guess now I very rarely answer mine. But how do you answer the phone if somebody calls you, Mr. Jason? Do you say hello? Okay. If you answer, you're like, hey, what's up? Or hey, hello, right? Like, they'll just pick it up and sit there. And you're like, are you there? Yeah. What do you want? It's like, this is not phone skills. And I think it comes like we grew up where the phone was on the wall, the phone rang, you ran over to it, you knew that you say hello. There was a process to it, right? All goes back to process. Like they didn't use phones growing up. It was texting from the time they were babies.
Which brings up a good point. On the other side of that, this is one of the challenges our team's having, when reaching out to people. Some people might not answer. So how do you handle that? Like, let's make sure that there is a process for that, right? That's good 100%. Phone handling. Hey, Greg. And if you don't answer, Greg, I know you're there, buddy.
Yeah, I know you're there.
Whatever it may be. Yeah, phone handling. Training for agency culture. I know we talked about culture.
Yeah.
Hiring for culture, but training the habits that create good culture.
Would you say that you want a culture club?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a karma chameleon.
Oh,
Mr.
boy,
Craig.
George. I mean, Jason. What else? Leadership development.
Yeah. Train that. Like that's, as you grow your team.
Yeah.
And you have managers in place and stuff. This is a huge one.
Yeah.
Because we really develop I love developing those. I think usually in our business, you usually promote within, right?
Yeah.
So that's huge. I mean, so they need that development.
And since we're rounding the third base here and running towards home to slide into home for the end of the year here, I think that I'd like to just do one little flashback of something that both Jason and I learned this year that is really, really empowering that you could do with the team instead of being the Google of the office when they ask you for something.
Oh, I know.
I know Seagraves knows the answer to this one.
Oof.
But so don't say anything, Seagraves. What you want to do is tell them to come to you with 3 solutions for that problem and give one recommendation. And this is very empowering. At first, they're going to roll their eyes and come on, but no, seriously, this is part of you growing your wings and flying away from the nest, right? We need to help them develop, and it's a really good thing. It requires some patience,
a little,
as Axl Rose would say. Yeah, a little patience.
Yeah. And then last on the list,
but not the least,
consistent meetings.
Yes.
This is agency's glue. And a little flashback to 2020 was when the COVIDs hit. And I'll never forget, everybody went home and we all jumped on our Zoom meetings and the multiple a day Zoom meetings. We had 2, but that was the glue that held it all together. And prior to that, when we started meetings, and even currently, like, meetings are that's where that's where everybody huddles, gets on the same page. We run that ball down the field to create those touchdowns. If we miss meetings, everything goes. Right. Everything goes.
You miss one meeting, you notice it. You miss 2 meetings, your wife notices it. Miss 3 meetings,
Mr. Craig notices it.
Oh, you don't want that. Not
and
that
that's
I'm 49.
Oh,
now that I'm old.
You've been old.
That's true. Then how come your hair is so much grayer?
Because I have 4 crazy kids.
And that's a coffee talk.
That's a coffee talk. Don't forget to text Mr. Jason at the number that we're going to talk about in the thing right after this.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it. I love it.
Nice.
All right.